All right, I'm finally set up. Sorry about the long wait, but I'm finally set up. Welcome to Master Friend Art Stream. I'm your fine, fantastic host. Well, it's not really a host, it's just me streaming here. And yeah, welcome to the art stream where I'm just going to be working on some new little tasks. For today's notable stream, I'm going to be tackling some new commission here. And currently it's a full body animation commission. It's going to be a, Dragon Warrior getting an idle animation. Worked on it a little bit over the weekend and things like that, but other than that, kind of just been going at it my, in tiny ways. Yeah. Today's been kind of sucky, but I'm gonna try to just salvage it. I wanted to stream earlier in the morning, but of course, life gets in the way. You gotta deal with family stuff. Gotta be the freaking IT guy of the, family, because just tech is built terribly. So, that's how it goes, and I am trying my best kind of just salvage this without panicking and freaking out about life. Hope everyone's doing all right. It's a fine afternoon, so I'm trying to mostly just get the little bit of work that I wanted done today. So if I can at least get this much work done, I can at least consider this a not failure of a day. Probably don't even need this. I can just go in, deal with that. Oh, then again, I should at least rework the pixel grid so it's background. What was the what the fuck was the background thing? There we are. Yeah, stupid frickin'. You know what? We should make this more of like a frickin' magenta. Yeah, it's a little gaudy. But it should be fine. Yeah, hopefully the chat's not in sub mode. I didn't even realize that it wasn't. That's kind of just one of those things where I'm kind of just I edit some stream settings I never realize when things aren't working. Oh yeah, things should be fine, so you should be able to chat, no problem. Yeah, I hate dealing with Twitch's stuff, but, it's one of those things where I want to figure stuff out as I go. I feel like this grid is still not as, make it lighter. Cause yeah, these, if it's similar to this background, it tends to like be an issue. Yeah, I do need to stop being so anal about these outlines, because they're right there. I always think about this so much. All these little things. I should probably talk a little bit about what I've been up to for And probably the past weekend and why I am streaming on a Monday. So currently I have the day off of work, or at least the week off of work, so I can pretty much just get as much stuff done as I humanly can. I'm trying to get all in on getting a bunch of things done, whether it's get more black mass writing done, get some missions knocked out, things like that. So, you know, it's right there. I'm gonna attempt to stream every day, and if not, you know, I'm just gonna see how I can at least handle it. It's one of those things where I'm just trying to force myself to just get into a productivity angle thing. So, you know, hopefully, you know, you'll see me do more of these streams, and if not, I will at least announce it. So, you know, hit the notification for when I start streaming, and you know, you'll know when I'm actually going to be able to stream. It might take me a while to set up, but it is what it is with that. Yeah, I've kind of just been experimenting with, well, actually, I'm not experimenting with anything, just noodling around. Well, I could say that I have been experimenting with digital art in some way, trying to get myself used to using specific brushes and stuff like that. And I mean, the experiment with those brushes has been all right. I've been, you know, pushing myself to digitally flat in some occasions. So, you know, I'm pretty happy about being able to do that. So it's nice that I managed to get a little bit of productivity with that. Maybe one day I'll actually get a illustration complete. Wouldn't that be something? Actually finishing the art that I start, instead of it taking me more than a year for it being a personal project. It's always difficult for me to get myself to work on a personal project if it's not paid, because it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're so used to not finishing your work that you end up never getting work from other people. Because you never get work from other people, you're kind of left to your own devices. And because you're left to your own devices, you end up constantly just jumping back and forth between like different projects that catch your interest, because, you know, it ends up catching your, you know, you end up wanting to just do whatever to keep busy. Of course, because you're constantly making yourself do a million different projects, you never really commit to a project. So you end up just having piles upon piles of unfinished work. So it can be easy to not be able to focus on a specific thing because, well, in your brain, you're not committing to finishing it. So that can be an issue when it comes to trying to make a long-term art career and trying to be, I guess, independent, quote unquote. Because when you're independent, you are left to your own devices, which is both a blessing and a curse. You know, you have to get yourself to be very self-motivated, because otherwise you end up just never doing anything. And then you end up kind of just losing time, and then you get busy, you have to deal with family stuff, or you're tackling, you end up getting into relationships, you have a wife and kid, and then you end up having even less time to dedicate to working on a project. And so you end up kind of letting it fall off because perhaps it wasn't as important to you as you thought it would be. And I'm not knocking anyone who, prioritizes their family and things like that over art. Like, obviously do that if you're needed. But it is one of those things where I guess in my personal situation, I don't really have giant family commitments. Like, I don't have a wife and kid. I don't have I have parents, and sometimes I gotta take care of them, and obviously they're getting older, so if they need help, I help them, because I'm not an asshole, even though there are occasions where it does annoy the shit out of me. But I try not to just despair on a lot of this stuff. But, it is what it is. I try to do my best with the time that I have, and if I have 30 minutes of stuff, I work on stuff for 30 minutes. Admittedly, it gets difficult to actually stick with a thing, because okay, what this should be is, what this should be is actually here. Put this line here. Yeah, I'm thinking out loud. But yeah, it's kind of just one of those things where I have to constantly fight for my free time, because the universe will constantly ask you for your free time if you don't grab it by the balls, so to speak. Not to say I want to freaking motivation bro you to throw everything out, but it's one of those things where I need to prioritize specific things if I want to make stuff and all that stuff. Everyone's going to constantly ask for your time, and you gotta either just make the call whether or not this will be worth sacrificing, I guess. Obviously, you don't sacrifice unnecessary if you don't need to, but that's kind of just how that goes. Hopefully I'm making sense. It's mostly just me reeling from, I guess, personal frustrations of my morning. I had to play IT for my parents, and the world is not built for old people, and it annoys the shit out of me that I have to constantly figure out tech stuff that I'm not really into. Like, my parents use WhatsApp a lot, and I don't use WhatsApp because I don't have anyone to talk to over WhatsApp, because I don't care to talk to people online. As much as I'm like, okay, let's talk online. Well, I'm not really that much. I'm painfully shy online. I'll follow people online, but I don't really talk to them that much. I might have mutuals, and we have maybe mutual interests, but at most I'll have a nod to other people, and that's the most I really go when it comes to, I guess, talking to people online. It takes a lot of energy from me to actually go chat with people online. So, it's not even a social awkwardness. It's a personal, mental exhaustion, where you're home, you just want to veg and gel out and tune out and just think about nothing. And you live your life, and you have a lot of people kind of catching your attention and things like that, and there's only so much attention you can give to people, and you probably want to be okay, man, just fuck off. I'm trying to live my own life. And it can be difficult to really be that rude guy where you're trying to set up some boundaries, and it can be tough to set those boundaries because you're so used to or at least I'm so used to being alone and no one actually talking to me. And then when people actually start talking to me, I somewhat get annoyed, because being a human means you're constantly contradicting yourself, and that's an aspect of being human that just royally pisses me off. I hate that I keep contradicting myself. I hate that I have to make compromises for my own, I guess, I don't know, trying to making life choices, I don't know. But, you know, it's one of those things where I'm unreasonably a perfectionist about stuff that I don't have to be a perfectionist about. And yet, here I am trying to control the universe. Or, it's not that I'm controlling the universe, it's more just I'm unsatisfied with being a part of the universe, I suppose. It's difficult to explain, which is why I just go to a therapist with most of this stuff. Because a lot of this is just me upset that I can't control everything that annoys me. I can't make the things that annoy me vanish, and I have to, I suppose, suffer through it. I mean, that's the best way I can just explain, is just I feel this sense of suffering when it comes to tackling, I suppose, the tiny annoyances of life. So it's one of those just things where I kind of just suffer in silence, because there's no way you can actually explain this without sounding like an asshole. So I kind of just keep it to myself. Yeah, that's the nature of everything. But yeah, I mean, I've been pretty okay with this. And I mean, I'm making a slight bit of progress when it comes to doing these streams. I probably could just start coloring this, but it's one of those things where I keep saying it's one of those things. It's so stupid that I keep saying that. Whatever. Is this thing still on subscriber mode? I actually don't know. Oy. Yep. What? Review requests. Yeah, but it's nothing. Okay, mate, it's just nothing. I guess I'll review the Twitch requests later. Probably just nothing. I get paranoid when it comes to just my chat, because I either never get anyone talking to me in chat, so I never ignore it, but then the occasion where someone does talk to me in chat, I end up like completely missing it for hours, because I just end up focusing on my own work, because, you know, you just want to focus on the work, because, you know, you're so used to just drawing for yourself. Ah, boy, I don't like these points. I have half of mine just use a line, but whatever. I think the toughest thing about doing pixel art is just these long curves. You're making very long curves, and they can be a pain in the keister to get down. So you end up kind of just constantly working this into probably just less of a mess of blobby ass pixels into something that's remotely coherent. And so it's kind of like you look out and you see it in this weird jumble, and you don't want it to be a weird jumble, so you try to knock out this line away so it's less of a weird jumble. Of course, if you zoom in too much, you end up kind of getting blinded to the jumble. Yeah. I should not have started on the wings, but here I am, bro. Here I am doing everything I can, hanging on to what I stand. Something Superman. Yep. We'll just let that rock. Sometimes you gotta let some pixel things rock if you want to have a shred of clarity to your pixels. That's kind of the point of a lot of this cleanup. It's less to make perfect lines, but to make the lines look clear. My pixel art looks clean, and half of that is me coming from comic books, whereas like I want to be a comic book artist. So I was like, okay, if I want to get into comics, a lot of comics about making clean enough artwork so they can be reproduced, stuff like that. And I was a dumb sucker for being like, yes, I'm going to get more into comics. I follow comic principles, all that stuff, and obviously it's not really helpful here. But of course, a lot of comic stuff is also helpful for animation, of course. And so, I still adhere to a cleaner line style. And there are occasions where I kind of look at this and wonder, am I just being unreasonably anal because, I see a lot of mutuals and other artists who are able to kind of work with an interesting mess. And I guess I feel a sense of, self-sadness when it comes to, seeing other people able to work with a messier style and they're able to kind of just make it seem correct. It's opposed to me where I will do a style and it just seems like it's just a coherent, sloppy mess. Like I tried drawing without guidelines and it just ends up feeling like my anatomy is just completely off. So I rarely draw without guidelines, even though I don't even know if it's faster. I've never timed myself with and without guidelines. And I guess I don't draw enough character models in order to know exactly how much it actually affects, I guess, my style. Who knows? You know what? I'll let this wing go. I will let this wing go. Left wing. In fact, I'll color you. Okay, good. Good. And then we'll kind of like paint you here. Yeah, we'll kind of just paint this here. Like a little sense of probably could just rock with just putting the lines here, actually. Because if I want to, it'll probably be it'll probably rock with simple just line art. Since I plan to put this in color, I might as well kind of like set it up so it's like this, and then yeah, then you use this as like a bit of a I'm getting unreasonably precise with this, but it is helpful in tiny ways. It'll be helpful in the far future, kinda, sorta. I mean, not really. Who knows? I actually don't even know. Get rid of the lines, I suppose. Probably could have just did this from the start. But the plan is that this will animate and it will look. I just need to set this up so it'll rotate in tiny ways. Yeah, it's probably not even gonna be perfect, but you know, making it work. Yeah, it could work like this. Whatever works. Yeah. Ugh. All right. Probably never gonna be much. I'm kind of doing a lot of polishing on this wing, even though I should be working on the broad strokes, but I feel like once I get the wing down, I'll at least have an art direction of the rest of the body. It's dumb, but it'll work. The reason I like using a 4-color palette for just the start of most of my sprites is it helps me focus on just getting the core shapes down and making sure my values are just right out there, because it'll be easy as hell to switch my it'll be easy for me to just switch the switch the colors, which is kind of a weird excuse when it comes to like development of a black mask. Which I'll probably do some stuff with developing black mask. I'd probably talk about the little news that I have with that, even though it really isn't much. I mean, what else can I say other than the hope is that we have a playable demo ready within this year. I am, my programmer, he's working his butt off with getting his stuff done, but he has an actual programming job, so he has to live his life. So it is what it is with that, and obviously I'm not gonna rush him. There isn't a deadline with this shit. So everything else is mostly just me just figuring out the story of Black Mass when it comes to what Cole's motivations are and getting him to feel like an interesting character, even though it's one of those things where I'm probably just overthinking it all, but I'm so used to I guess I still haven't gotten over, I guess you just have that fear of rejection when it comes to making sure that everything's absolutely fucking perfect before you release it all. And obviously there are points where you're gonna have to just sit down and do the damn thing, because otherwise you're gonna just leave people hanging and everybody will be just completely bottlenecked, or you're the one kind of bottlenecking the process because you're just being a perfectionist with that. So obviously I don't want to be that person with that. So it is what it is with that. Lucky for me, I managed to not be in a position where everyone is waiting for me to submit stuff. So I'm pretty happy that I don't need to worry about getting inventory ready. I could probably do this. Yes. All right, one wing. That's at least enough to justify this location. Let's get to some other stuff with this. And honestly, I probably could just hide the body here. And the arm, close arm, and then legs. God, it's kind of weird that I don't have to. Kind of don't have to do this, but usually I prefer to do this just in case. Just in case I do need to animate it and it needs to move and stuff like that. I want to leave myself high and dry with my bad habits. That's always the toughest call to make, because when you take shortcuts, you don't know if it's going to screw you in the future. You know, a lot of stuff that my programmer kind of talks about is having a good optimized code will help him in the future, because if he makes messy spaghetti code, he'll end up needing to, and if something's wrong, he'll end up needing to try to figure out what the heck is wrong. And of course, if he doesn't make sure that his code is legible for himself, it's going to take him that much longer to figure out how on earth to fix it. So it's sort of in that same vein with me, where if I take too many shortcuts when it comes to drawing, I'm going to lose track of where I am, and I won't be able to solve whatever future problems that I will. So as long as I can figure out a way, as long as I make sure to, I suppose, have the baseline of, you know, everything doing fine, if you find problems, it'll be that much easier to kind of just go back to that beginning structure and, you know, problem solve from there, as opposed to feeling like nothing, you know, you feel like, okay, you completely borked it, it's all fucked, you have to start from the start, start from scratch. So obviously you don't want to just dumpster everything from the start. So, you know, this is, you know, there are occasions where you do need to ensure yourself from taking those shortcuts, because otherwise you'll end up needing to scrap work if you bork it too much. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm not very good at explaining my stuff now that I'm thinking about it. Probably do something like this. Do this. I might be able to get away with this because supposedly it'll rotate, and that's how it'll go. Okay. Save. Take a drink. Things rule. Oh. Oh. I should probably talk about more stuff that I've done over my weekend. And a lot of it is not that notable, but it is notable to me. I went to a local library show at Lockport, and that was pretty nice. Go to a very local spot in my area of suburban Illinois, so that's pretty nice with that. Got to enjoy the festivities. Got a bunch of corn dogs, and I enjoyed myself with that. Probably ate too many corn dogs, so I was feeling a little woozy after that. So it's kind of just one of those things where lesson learned: don't eat too many corn dogs. So yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, it was a pretty nice occasion to kind of just catch up with other artists. They had fine little talks, and I chatted with a few artists and kind of just talked about the fact that I'm kind of just wandering the place as a civilian. And, so far, so good with that. It's a occasion where you kind of just need to figure out what the heck you're doing. I'm still taking a break from conventions because, obviously I need to build up a new bunch of stuff, new merch, yada yada. I still need to get more table mat stuff done because I promised that I was going to have my Magic Donuts, my Magic Gathering Donuts mat done, but I've kind of fallen off of getting work done. I'm still working on it though. I still need to probably just get the funds, but I've kind of just been in a weird financial tight spot at the moment, which you can solve by subscribing. See that pivot. But anyway, it's one of those things where I do need to it's on the down the line tasks or project lists where I'm kind of focusing more on just working on Black Mask than the non-Black Mask stuff, even though every time I post my daily sketches, a lot of them just end up not having much to do with Black Mask. I haven't drawn Cole in 2 months, and I'm kind of like, okay, I need to at least post some more Cole stuff. So yeah, I posted a Cole ink drawing and an illustration. Just a crap ass illustration. Sometimes I need to not shit on my sketchbook so much. That's kind of just one of those things where I always just feel self-conscious when it comes to I have very little to really show off because I don't actually have stuff to show at the moment. So that's kind of just the nature of me needing to basically just get back to work on just life stuff, Well, not just life stuff, but just the actual proper ass projects. And of course, I still end up hanging around at other people's streams because I kind of just like the socialization, It feels, it gets me to feel less alone in life. So I end up just being weirdly parasocial. I'd like to not be though. So that's why I'm kind of just, oh no. I mean, that's weird. Because obviously, I have mutuals, of course, but I always have this weird thought that I'm probably assuming too much about them. And it's always difficult to decide, okay, are they legit friends or am I kind of pushing myself too much into their circle? So, sometimes I try my best not to just intrude too hard on a lot of, I suppose, just a lot of, maybe conversations. Okay. I also feel like this wing is larger than this wing. So okay. Now let's reduce this down so it's not as intrusive. Well, at least my frustration over my lost time's kind of like dissipate a little. And I can just relax with just working on this thing right now. So now I'm feeling hungry. I should have eaten some food before I started streaming. Yeah, it's one of those things where I gotta need to do a billion different things before I stream. Kind of sucks that I never remember to do certain things, and then once you got to stream, you end up realizing, oh, you forgot to do this, you forgot to do that, and you know, you end up like realizing that you kind of have to just abandon it because, well, you gotta get your stuff rolling here. You're already live time, so you gotta just, you know, fuck it, you're doing it live, stuff like that. So, you know, or at least I'm constantly trying to not fret so hard about, you know, my personal mistakes. Or at least as much as I try. I struggle to forgive myself when it comes to making mistakes and fumbles because I'm so sorry. I struggle to forgive myself when it comes to just making the tiniest little mistake because, you know, I'm always just so used to just feeling like everyone is constantly going to jump at you for the tiniest little fuck up. Motherfucker. What the? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Stupid goddamn. Where's the whack? I'm just... No. No, I'm not having this. We're gonna reset it. I'm not gonna turn off the monitor just yet. This is the most annoying aspect about whacking stuff, is that occasionally you'll just, I don't know, need a restart or whatever. And you have to constantly rework this. Fuck this, you know? Like, the trackball works, and then... yeah. Okay. Alright. I just kind of like look at this from a distance, and I just feel like just something's missing. But you know what? We're just gonna let that rock because I want to have the torso going. Torso, left wing, stuff like that. If I can at least get the torso going, I'll at least have an idea of where I'm going to tackle the animation, or at least I'll have a still image to just work off of. Because while I'm doing that, I'm also been figuring out how I'm tackling my animation. And so far, I mean, it's been pretty okay. It's not perfect. I have been attempting to use timed I have been attempting to use timetables for the first time. Despite going to animation school, I never really used timetables. And it's only now I'm actually trying to make or plan stuff with timetables. And I mean, it's kind of working. It's just, I think the drawing stuff, I think I'm still in this habit of reusing drawings, so to speak. So that's kind of just how I'm tackling it all. Also, the scarf's going to be just physics animated, so I'm probably just gonna hide you here. Okay, because the way this armor's supposed to look, it's supposed to be like a supposed to be like more of a point, like, you know, those that Fire Emblem anime armor where it just has a chest point out. That's sort of what I'm doing with this. Probably isn't as probably makes little sense. But I did want to kind of do something more stylistic with the armor overall, so that's why I'm working with such armor. Okay. 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 Make sure this is hardened. Sorta. That'll work. It'll also kind of work in tiny little ways. I'm gonna stream as long as I care to stream today. I'm not gonna be I don't have any ginormous I don't have any gigantic things other than just veg out, get actual work done, and hopefully I at least will get enough to not feel like crap, or at least feel like what I did today was productive enough that I'm not gonna feel bad when I go to bed tonight. Because most of my achievements is just the need to not feel bad, honestly. I don't think I think one thing that I've been constantly trying to get myself to be working on is being happy with what I've done, because I never feel like I'm doing every tiny little thing that I set my mind to, and I feel this constant sense of personal disappointment whenever I'm like, okay, you say you're going to do all this stuff and you didn't do it today, and now you're just gonna feel bad for the rest of that night. So I'm trying not to completely devolve when it comes to stuff like that. You know, I try to I don't know, practice self-compassion. You know, a lot of people say, okay, you gotta get yourself to feel more self-compassion, otherwise you end up like feeling like crap all the time. You're feeling constant self-loathing and self-hatred because, you know, you end up feeling like you just hate yourself all the damn time. So yeah, you kind of have to have this need to have a lot of unconditional self-love, and I am a constant self-abuser when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I am a unreasonable hater. Like, I'm my own biggest hater. Like, full out, I planning my own murder hater. So that kind of stuff obviously needs to not be like that. So, I gotta work that out. Because, believe me, however hardness I tend to be on myself, like, I am way harder than that. Like, you can imagine me, like, being my own worst critic, but I am well beyond my worst critic. I am my biggest hater. My biggest, most unreasonable hater. So, yeah, just let that rock. Okay, once I get the chest done, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna set boundaries and say, yes, I'm working on the chest, that's it. I think I'll like give myself maybe 2-3 hours of this, and I'll move on to something else. Because otherwise, I'll end up just constantly focusing on the wrong thing. And you end up tunnel visioning yourself. Or at least I end up tunnel visioning myself. I don't know why I keep saying you when I really mean me. That's an annoying aspect of myself that I gotta beat. Is constantly tunnel visioning myself and projecting my own fucking insecurities when, my insecurities are not your problem. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, this will work. Yeah, this will go down. That's how that'll go. Right. Right. And it curves in like this. Like there's a anime armorism where it does this. I believe, what's it called? There's an actual term, and this is in my chart of armor things. Damn it. Oh yes, the placards. Like there's a bunch of anime art that just has huge placards. Yeah, there's like a huge placard, a huge fold. Let me see if I can't, no. After the break, I'm gonna reference hunt. And then I'm gonna see if I can't find it, actually. Because there's like a bunch of anime armor that just has armor in this style where you have like a long, like stick out thing. And of course, the armor nuts are all like, oh, that's not historically accurate. And most anime armor is like, I don't give a fuck. This is Japanese coolness. Because, you know, it's more, a lot of like Japanese armor, or at least JRPG armor, is about looking cool and, you know, looking cool over like looking realistic, looking cool, looking symbolic, stuff like that. So, you know, there's a less emphasis on, I think there's more of an emphasis on vermistitude than actual realism, so to speak. Like, it's not to say that a lot of like Japanese anime stuff is, you know, doesn't care about reality, but more just kind of like getting that specific feeling. Like, there's something to be said about like not really letting reality get in the way of telling a good story. And, you know, there's a little bit of value to that. Like, if guards in like a lot of fiction where the hero needs to get around security and stuff like that, if guards actually did their job, the heroes would never be able to get into like the secret fortress and shit like that. So it's kind of just one of those things where you either tell it unrealistically or the story just never gets told. So yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of need to make those acceptable little breaks from reality, because otherwise you end up just making something that's you know, it's kind of just boring to be around. Okay, probably like to do something like this. You know what? Let that rock. Yeah, let's just let that rock here. Yeah. And then when the arms show, I'd probably make this arm even larger. Yeah. Yeah, let's let that rock. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Yes. Okay. Gotten the majority of stuff done for this torso. So I'm gonna step up, take a slight break, and I will be right back. And I return. Thank you, everyone. I'm watered up, and I've did a bit of reference hunting. So, looking through the little bits of my references, the armor that I'm looking for is not exactly having that large little middle thing that I was thinking of, and I'm probably like completely flubbing it. But you know, it is a nice way to kind of just reincorporate the inspiration. This is actually a little bit more modern. I think this is from the Fire Emblem Gacha game, but I got a bunch of stuff from like Shining Force and things like that. But yeah, a lot of like emphasis on the chest armor and things like that. But I think like what I was trying to figure out is like the armor part of this area here, because most of it is more like a football pad type armor, where I think the nature of what this actually is a placard, which is supposed to go over the chest. Like the placard and fault are like going over the chest and things like that. Oh yeah, Paula. Yeah, she is Yeah, I kind of like did that pixel art thing just as a fun thing. And yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things where I just wanted to fiddle around with a PNG tuber for a bit and have some fun with that, just in case my webcam just went to trash. And so far, it's holding up. It's been pretty decent. So now it's mostly just me figuring out how this is going to work. But yeah, right now I'm working on a larger commission and figuring out how that's gonna go. But yeah, this should I do want to write some kind of story with that cougar. It's just, you know, I've got so much other stuff I gotta tackle with that. I think the one thing that I always just fall into is you think of a cool character design and then you fall out like figuring out what the hell their story is gonna be, and you kind of just fall out of love with that character because you have no idea how to tackle that. So, you know, sometimes it can be a little tough to figure out what you want to do. And of course, with me, I crank out character designs almost every day to keep my skills sharp. So I end up doing a whole bunch of different characters and don't do as much as I should to kind of make a actual story to them. So it is what it is with that. And yeah, I'm getting slightly better at it. Obviously, working on Black Mass is forcing me to do it, you know, forcing me to deal with my own cringe in tiny ways and kind of just commit to, you know, the world building and the becauses and, those little threads of storytelling to kind of just figure out what you're actually doing to get a narrative going. Because it's very easy to get into this wheel spinning thing where you're constantly world building, you're constantly like making up cool little activities and how the characters live and talking about their love life and things like that. But then you end up putting yourself into this long thing where, yeah, you're doing, you know, you're saying a lot of stuff, but you're not really showing that in a narrative. And you know, that's a thing that, you know, me and many other, you know, OC creators frequently fall into is I do a lot of, like, I guess, biography writing, but you don't really do a lot of storytelling. So that's a personal feeling that I constantly feel every time I think about most of my characters. And a lot of those characters, I don't even know if they'll even fit in certain spots of, like, you know, whether or not it's gonna fit in the story that I'm currently writing. Because it's like, okay, you're making a thing for Black Mask, or at least the game that I'm working on, Black Mask, and you know, it's looking fine, but then you're like, okay, what's this character going to be in the narrative of, like, the broad thing that you're writing? And you struggle to figure it out because maybe the character doesn't work with the narrative you're writing. Maybe a character that you're trying to figure out kind of clashes with the themes, or you're experimenting with a character design that is well off of what you initially do because, you know, you're constantly drawing new stuff. So that's always one of those things where, you know, I'll admit that I struggle with, and obviously I need to make myself better at that, but, you know, it is what it is with that. So for those, I guess, future writers, whether it's webcomic writers or game developers, or even maybe like you want to make your own future anime and stuff like that, you know, I get it when you feel like you're not going anywhere with you know, figuring out what the heck you want to do with your OCs, because I'm totally in that boat. So I am slightly getting off that boat myself because, well, I'm making a game, so I either put up or I shut up. So yeah, that's one of those things. But right now I'm working on this commission, so that's why I'm half procrastinating, half not with this. And yeah, we'll just let you rock. Scarf. I put you up here, and that'll work. It's difficult to get that rocking. But yes, you will obviously the part of making your thing work is that struggle of going through the motions of understanding what you want out of a cool story. Because obviously if you're not having fun writing it, it's just going to be a miserable slog getting through it. And obviously when you're if you don't have fun writing your thing, you're just going to end up dumping it out because you just don't want to work on it. I probably said this already. And yeah, the struggle is sort of the point, I'd say. Now, you do spend time thinking about general ideas and characters, but don't sit to start writing and developing. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do a lot of ideating, probably. Yeah, I do that too, especially with my sketches and things like that. A lot of my character designs end up either being ideas for either opponents or enemies that Cole will need to sneak past in the game, or they're just general character designs that I are inspired by stuff that you find on Pinterest, or you learn some animal fact, or I find some cool picture on Reddit's like a big photo Reddit thing where it's like earth porn and shit like that. Where you're finding a cool looking landmass, or you're finding a cool fashion design, stuff like that. Or even you're finding a cool armor design, stuff like that. So, it can be easy to constantly be in design mode as opposed to execution mode with that kind of stuff. All right. Alright, we'll work with this arm a bit. Bicep. Okay. Because what this is going to be is a larger armor. So what this is supposed to be on the whole is an idle animation. So, they're going to be actually jiggling around, and I actually made a very rough sketch in Clip Studio Paint of how it's going to move. I do need to tighten that up, but this is the general gist of making an idle animation with that. So right now it's mostly just me refining the still image, so even if I don't have everything, I at least have a base of work with that. One thing that's pretty nice is I'm able to fly through this pretty quickly, so I'm happy with the progress that I'm making right now. Just a matter of tightening that up. I could probably hide the head here. Body. No, keep the body rolling. Oh yeah. So yeah, it can be pretty easy to fall into constantly ideating all the time. So, just know that it's totally normal to be constantly ideating all the time because, well, you're a creative person, or at least I'm a creative person. I don't know about you personally. I don't know if you're a writer or you're another artist. So, it is what it is with that. But yeah, just know that this kind of stuff is par for the course when it comes to, I'd say, most writers. I think I talk about this with other writers, and they say, yeah, this is totally normal to be constantly brainstorming bullshit. Of course, there's one of those things where you kind of gotta put up and shut up. So, I try to, at least I'm trying to make that personal change where I am putting up and trying to just make the dreams come true, actually doing the whole storytelling thing, trying to figure out the actual narrative thread where the causations are making a lick of sense. Cole's motivated by this, and because he's motivated by this, he does this. Because he does this, this happens. So yada yada yada. So that's the typical writing 101 is make sure that a lot of this stuff happens because of stuff. You're an artist yourself, but you never tried out pixel art. If you're an artist, pixel art's, it's a meme, but it's not as hard as you think. But I'd say with pixel art, I started pixel art because I was working on a game jam, and damn it. Okay, I can fix this. Wait. Damn it. Okay, I think I might be able to get this down. But yeah, I learned pixel art through just doing it. I went and found a ebook called Pixel Logic by Michael Aziz, and that was a nice way to kind of just walk me through the little intricacies of how pixel art's supposed to look, air quotes. And it was a lot of me doing that. A lot of my core drawing skills transition to, pixel art stuff. So one thing that's really nice about pixel art, especially in A-Sprite pixel art, is that a lot of your drawing stuff will work even in like, why is this not working? Excuse me. A lot of your drawing knowledge will work with pixel art stuff because, at the end of the day, it's still the same mother lover. After all, it's still the same principles of just drawing, your line, your color, that kind of stuff. So, why are you not copying? I'm copying, right? Oh, it's locked. Oh, fuck. Okay, I was like, why is this not going? It's locked down, of course, that's why. But yeah, your drawing skills will transition to pixel art pretty easily. And if you know how to animate, those skills will also translate to pixel art as well, because... Why is this doing that? I don't know. Fuck it. This sucks. Why is it making it white? I don't know. Excuse me, I need some water. But yeah, there's not an extreme amount of difference when it comes to learning pixel art in comparison to learning drawing. The only specific foibles with pixel art is setting up the individual pixels so it looks like the lines are thin and going a proper thick and thin. Because whenever you're just drawing the line just regular, it ends up looking chunky and slightly ugly looking. But when you take the time to, come on, pattern the line to, oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. But when you take the time to edit the line art so it looks more cohesive, it ends up looking like a more better line and things like that. And then you'll learn other little pixel art stuff where you're using color to indicate lines getting even thinner and thinner and stuff like that, to give that illusion that the pixel art is looking thinner than it is. So it ends up kind of looking like an illusion where the line art is looking even thinner than the initial two square lines. So pixel art, it can be rewarding, especially if you or want to learn how to get stuff in games too, because learning how to get your artwork in game engines is actually pretty easy, depending on the game engine. Like if it's something like Unity engine, it's pretty straightforward because you're just dragging and dropping your transparent PNGs into the file folders and stuff like that. And the actual making the games work, there's a bunch of pre-built stuff in Unity to help you figure things out. Game Maker is also pretty decent at getting your stuff out there out the box, where you're able to kind of drag and drop little interactivity nodes. Gotta just be like, okay, I want to have this character move around, so you put these little like specific nodes with Game Maker and stuff like that, and it'll automatically play your character animation walking while moving on the keyboard press, stuff like that. So it's pretty straightforward with that, getting your art in engine. And of course, you can also learn other engines like RPG Maker, or even if you're not into like making a huge action game, maybe you want to make like a dating sim, or even just a general interactive fiction thing. You've got things like Twine, which is basically you're making a bunch of web links together, essentially. Like if you've written a blog, or you've like worked with Markdown, Twine is pretty decent with learning how to make an interactive fiction thing, because it doesn't require a lot of just real programming knowledge, so to speak. So you can hop into making games whenever you can, because there's a lot of good tools these days that you can just hop in and go nuts. Okay, like do this. Just make it look like a shiny stripe with that. Yeah, I'm polishing a little too much, but I'm working off what I need to do right now. So a lot of working on this phase of the commission is mostly knocking in the, getting this to look more clear, because the further you get out with the pixel art, the more like it's chunky. So what I'm doing is cleaning up the line so it looks like a clearer gauntlet, and making it look like the smooth curves look smooth enough, and having that work as intended. Yeah, as you do more pixel art, you start to get more of the hang of what will look good, what looks too jagged, like this curve's a little too straight looking. So I'll probably do some things like a bit more pixel, 1 pixel lengths with that. And as you do pixel art, you kind of start getting the hang of, okay, you have one too many pixels here, so you're gonna get rid of a few pixels there, and it looks like a more smoother curve. And there's a lot of I suppose techniques where it's like the stair step technique, where you go 1 pixel but you don't want to go 2 to 2 pixels, so it's like 1 1 1 2 2 2 2. Usually what counts as jaggy is if you go to 3, because otherwise it looks jaggy or too curved down and stuff like that. So there's little, I suppose, quote unquote rules that care. They're there to kind of help you navigate the advanced aspects of it more than telling you can't do this. It's less that you can't do it and more like this is well too advanced for you right now. Come back later. So that's how I tackle most of my tasks so far when it comes to learning pixel art. And obviously I go on sprite ripping websites where I find the actual sprites for old games I like, or games I like the game animations for. So whatever retro games I played in my childhood, I will see if I can find stuff like that, get a sprite with that, and see their sheets and see how actual pro game developers made their sprites. So it's how that goes with that. Okay. So far, so good. I could probably do this. Then I use this. Right. Right, this is looking decent. Yeah, so far so good. And I gotta remember that this is going to be animated, so I can't be too precious about this. So, put this there, put that there. And then that'll work as I'd hope. Of course, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I do with the, because this arm's gonna do things like move up and down and rotate and things like that. So I gotta save that for that. So Control S with you. Close arm, far arm, torso. You need to adjust the hips just a bit, especially where there we are. Rework the hips, because the hips are kind of like in this weird spot where the legs are over everything. In fact, I should probably move the legs so you have the foreground leg and then the background leg. There we go. Close leg. Yes. That should look good. Okay. These are looking fine. Okay, I think I probably just work with the hips here, kind of just edit what can be seen and then rework what can't be seen. Meh. We'll put the opacity with transparency and just let that rock. Okay, back to the hips here. I do need to figure out more scrolling techniques to kind of just get myself to not be constantly scrolling and searching where the hell my layers are. That's a tough thing about learning digital tools for me, is that I have to constantly flip through my layers if I want to know where the heck everything is. Did this have a loincloth? It kind of didn't. It's sort of basing this armor off of the blasphemous armor, because my commissioner's asking for something similar to the blasphemous armor. So I'm doing that, plus taking my own like personal liberties with, you know, my actual notable armor design. So figuring out stuff with that. So, you know, there's always a million different things I gotta figure out. Excuse me. That's probably just let that go here, because probably just let that go there. Yeah, it kind of works. Figuring that stuff out here. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Need more water. Okay. Yeah, things are kind of working in like small ways. And that'll work. Close leg. I gotta pass you back to top. Ugh. Get rid of this. Probably nudge down this top part so it's more so it kind of just hugs the hips a bit more. Overlaps everything. Or yet just have that overlap at all. What's it called? I don't remember the term for that. I don't know why I'm just having a lot of mouth gases. I don't know what it's called. I'm constantly burping, I'm constantly coughing. Clearly a sign that I'm unhealthy. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't have the face cam on because I am just this weird meat sack. But it's kind of funny because I don't really have much problem showing my face. It's just, you know, I'm currently experimenting with a PNG tuber, so gotta just figure that stuff out. Because I think what I'm gonna do is make more PNG tuber commissions, because right now I have the commission set, so you know the half body is kind of just there, but it's like I feel like the half body is kind of useless if it's not an avatar or something. So gonna see about experimenting with making more of the half body commissions more like a PNG tuber thing. So you know you'll have that plus like a little lip sync thing plus everything else. So it'll kind of like entice people to get something that's a little bit more useful than just, you know, this decorative half body thing. Okay, so far so good. Let's adjust the leg just a bit more. Boom. All right. Okay, a little bit more stuff with that. And occasionally I'll just use the line tool to kind of just figure out what that stuff will do. And of course, I also just use the black of the line to increase the line thickness. You know, as you know, thick and thin lines is always a way to kind of just indicate, you know, the rhythm of the line, things like that. It'll indicate, you know, lighting going better, stuff like that. So, you know, having a nice sense of thick and thin line art will make things look, you know, a little bit better. You know, it'll look much more 3D, or it'll look more active, stuff like that. So I do see a lot of like anime art that, you know, kind of like goes really thin with their lines, and it kind of just uses the color to kind of just, you know, indicate the shading with that kind of stuff. So a lot of that is, I guess, less fast and loose, I'd say. So I myself, I'm so used to working monochrome that I still kind of just adhere to doing, I suppose, proper draftsmanship type things, where, you know, I use the in thickening line to get things looking better. So fuck it, we'll do a live with this. That looks better. That'll work. And slowly and steadily, this leg's looking much better. Alright, Control S, we save you. We're a happy little fam. Probably do a little bit of a dividing here. And then kind of just indicates. No. Oh, wait, cancel. Yeah, we'll actually make this more of a line. And then how did I have it before? Sketch. Concept sketch kind of just has it like this. And of course I have 1,000 like different things like that. I think I'll always use a few things from this. Hey Atron, nice to catch you, or nice for you to catch me. Can I send a PNG? It's a tower skin, but I need one and a shark head, but they're in a sprite sheets of 70 by 130. Sprite sheets of 70 by 130 frames. You mean in pixels, right? 70 by 130. Yeah, you could send a PNG if you like, though. You can message me. I don't know where you'll direct message me at. Yeah, you can email me, or you could DM me. I think Twitch has a DM, but if not, you know, you could follow me on Blue Sky or something like that. But yeah, just send me a thing and I'll look it over. Because yeah, I'm currently working on this commission, so this is that my Twitch whispers close. All right, so let me see if I can't reopen that. I didn't even know that my Twitch whispers are. I didn't even know like how you even do that. Let me see. Whispers. Where on earth do you find those settings? Ah, okay. Wait. Ah, I see. Okay. Alright, got it. Alright, I have now messaged you first. So yeah, just send me... Yeah, since I messaged you first, I will do that. Yeah, I think the nature of, I guess Twitch is like, you don't want to get a bunch of spam, so that's probably why I had it. Which makes sense. Yeah, usually, you know, whenever you leave your DMs open, sometimes you'll just get spam and you end up just wanting to like be like, okay, I just don't want any more messages, so you just close it down. But yeah, if you want to commission me, I'll, you know, chat with you a bit and, you know, tackle that as I go. And yeah, you say it's for you say it's for one of your games. Cause I'm starting to yeah, you're starting to jog a memory for me, because you had this tower defense game. So okay. And hopefully you'll be able to actually message me. Okay, yeah, I was totally right with that. Groovy, groovy. Okay. First leg. Oop. I could probably get rid of this ref. Get rid of the little BG and that should work. So yeah, so far so good with this. Got one leg, arm, B-seep, far arm. Yeah, let's work on the back arm here. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I keep coughing all the time. Yeah, let me hide the scarf. Oh yeah, so far this has been going pretty smooth. I'm making legit progress. So I should at least get to animating either by tomorrow or by Wednesday. That's the big rough timeline of how that's gonna go. I think I'll get to your thing, or at least I'll reply to you later tonight after stream. Ayrton, yes. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that once I you know, finish this stream and all that stuff, and you know, give that a look and see what's what. Yeah, make that gray. This will work better. Make that gray. Knock this down. That'll look better. Yeah. Okay. Cause yeah, it's you know, it's been pretty decent, and I think I'm in a time in my day, or at least my I guess work schedule, where I'm kind of open for commissions right now. And you know, I'm tackling new stuff because the demo for my game is mostly in my programmer's hands, so a lot of that will be me kind of just being like, okay, I'll like tackle that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll look through it and I'll send you a link to my PayPal stuff. Yeah, because it'll depend on if it needs to be animated too. So I'm sure it probably won't need a crazy amount of animations if it's a tower. So sorry. Okay. I think I'll do like a little contrasting buff here, and that should work. Thanks for the follow. Wait a minute. Yeah. A lot of my Ko-fi stuff is mostly character commissions, so a lot of the I guess the non-character commissions I'd have to figure out, because I rarely do character commissions, because I really do game assets overall. So I'll have to talk to you about that more. 3 tower state, small, mid, max. Okay, that's doable. Like, it's not like I haven't done assets before. I've worked on game jams. I've worked on stuff for like I've made like tank designs for some certain little games. In fact, doing tanks was my first ever just foray into pixel art, actually. Yeah, then I'm gonna sell the skin to players. Not a huge community, but hopefully they can at least cover your costs. All right. Yeah, then for me, it's like free and they get content. Okay. Alrighty. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that once I just knock this down. Let's see. Boom, boom. Yeah, they'll be nice and straightforward. Get that down. There we are. Yeah, if it works out, then it'll be nice to repeat it too. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it'll be nice to get a bit more like more time to tackle some more commissions if you like. Okay. Make you a bit more of a stripe color. Okay, and that'll look good. Yeah, suck at ours, and it takes ages, so it'll open some possibilities. Okay, that's good. Well, nice that you're considering me. Yeah, I do a decent bit of games and stuff like that. So, yeah, so far, it's been okay. I've done mostly game jam in terms of. Uh-oh. One sec, I gotta check on my house. Hello, I'm back. I had to. Oh, I didn't need to literally put out a fire, but my brother was cooking and nearly, he set off the smoke alarm, so I need to make sure he didn't burn the house down. Alrighty. Yeah, as long as we find a price we can both be happy with. What? Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll get back to you on that. Yeah, so far so good. We'll just let that rule there. Our leg back. I think the only thing I have left is the leg back here and then the head. So do something with this and that'll work here. Back arm, back leg. Call you back leg. Okay. So far, so that, and then we'll, or at least I'll do this. That'll look pretty decent. Shooba-doo-bop. Alright. So yeah, could be going back to some more vibing, and that should work for me. Let's see. So yeah, how much time have I been working on this right now? Let's see. Working on it for 2 hours, plus been streaming for 2 hours. Okay. I'm making decent time polishing this pixel. That's good. That's good. I'm liking that. Let's see. I think for my effort, I could probably charge maybe like 200 for doing the towers area and everything, if you're still listening. Yeah, I haven't looked at the towers yet, but that's I'd say that's a nice rough estimate of how I'll tackle it. And of course, I haven't animated yet, so that is also subject to change. But yeah, I feel like I can probably get that going with that. Yeah, 200 sounds like I could probably work with that. Yeah, I think I'll be able to do it for 200. So yeah, I'll look it over and I'll just send you what I'm doing with that. And that should be solid. Okay, good, 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 good. Yeah, let you go up here. You're right there, and that'll look good. Bada bing, bada boom. We're all looking pretty good here, so they can probably add like a little bit of a tipper right here. This one pixel to establish a bit of depth to this piece of armor. It's a bit of a plate armor type thing. Let you rule with that, and that'll work good. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like it'll be fine right there. Yeah, that looks good. Thin this out just a wee bit, and that'll look fine. Though I would need to shorten this. Right now it's looking like this side is longer than this side, so let me just nudge this up. Like looking at my other preview just to see how it's looking in terms of if it'll look even or not. And yes, it's looking more even. Do that there. Perhaps add a bit more gray to tip that out. That looks good. All right, and then we can just get to working out the rest of the leg. All right, so far so good. You know what? Since we're already here, we might as well put that up. I know what's up. This actually overlaps. Yeah, I figured. So you overlap, so this actually goes underneath the hip. So that's why it's working like that. And I do that to kind of safeguard myself. If I animate that and I'll rotate the leg, I'll at least have a bit of a, maybe like a margin of error for if I need to do an overshoot animation and things like that. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Shoo-be-doo-doo, ba 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 ba. All right. All right, that's looking good. Keep that going. And then knock that there, make it look more like a line. Control S. Get with this. Add a bit more umph out here to kind of just get you rocking here, and that looks good. Good, good. Alright, a little bit of cover up here. And that way it'll look like it's a foot covering here. Thin out this claw just so it looks like it's vanishing into perspective, because otherwise it looks thicker than this claw, which I'll likely need to make thicker so it looks more like it's in foreshortening. Like looking at this, and I feel like this should be smaller. It would be cool to make more merch of my like pixel art stuff. Like I've been seeing a lot of those little standees where, you know, they'll have like those acrylic standees that you know, people have put up there. And I'm like, okay, that looks kind of cool. Maybe that'll look good with like a cool like pixel art thing. So probably hit that up for maybe a future merch thing. Maybe like maybe something that's like Black Mass related specifically. So probably tackle that sometime in the future whenever I arrange something like that. Actually, this looks good, so. That looks pretty nice. And I'll use the darks of the, yeah, I'll use the darks of the what's it to make it look like it's armor. Yeah, so far so good with that. Okay. Probably just make you dark back here. Front legs. Unlock you. And a little bit of depth here. Unlock you. Add a bit of shine here. And thicken this. That looks good. It's all looking good, bros. And maybe sis. I don't know who's actually here watching me. I wonder if I could look at my demographics on my streams, because I actually don't even know who actually watches my streams. YouTube has like demographics where it shows me, you know, who's watching. Sorry. I think the reason why I'm coughing so much is because my brother's smoking up the freaking house. It is what it is. Okay. Alright, so far so good with you. And what I'll actually do is make a little line art here. Just coast off of this. Okay. Yeah. Ah, I know which side you're on. Yeah, back leg. Alright, Control S. You're looking real good. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Oh, I know what's up with that arm. Doesn't have the pauldron like the other one. I am choking. Man, I need to open my window. If my face cam was going and you wouldn't be able to see me, probably like choking on smoke inhalation. I am choking, I probably am. I am probably dying and I don't even know it. And wouldn't that be my fucking luck, wouldn't it? Theo Huxtable died today and I'll probably be following him. Guy died in Costa Rica drowning. That's fucked. Like, he's just on vacation and it's like he got caught by a freaking wave. That's kind of like a fate worse than death in some ways. I mean, obviously, you know, there are worse ways to go, but it's still a really, really bad way to go. Drowning. Essentially, you're getting taken under the ocean, because I believe he got caught under a high tide. And it was kind of like dragged to the ocean floor. Or at least that's how a lot of high tides tend to work. Okay. Okay. Yes, thanks for the follow, Big Bad Shadow Man. I think I remember you from just following me on Blue Sky. I guess now you're following me here on Twitch. Hope you're doing well. I'm early knocking out a big commission. Gonna be a full body dragon commission. So knocking that out as I go. And I'm making a half decent bit of progress, I'd say. Knocking out just a good amount of a lot of the armor embodied stuff is nearly done, or at least in a point where I can I can actually start just animating. Yeah, things are going pretty smoothly, and yeah, glad things are doing good. Yeah, getting a bunch of cool art and creative tasks done. Because we're all here being nice and creative and trying to make our dreams come true. That's the big motivational quote is, make our dreams come true. The whole Shia LaBeouf thing where you gotta just do it. Make your dreams come true. That should work. Yeah, get rid of that. That's more than enough. Okay. Alright, so far so good. Yeah, like a little empathy thing like here. Then go to the far legs, or the close arm. And then add some more pauldron here. Yeah, add like a bit more pauldron. Gotta add more pauldron. Can't go wrong with more pauldron. And the nature of making a lot of pixel art, you're kind of just nudging through the mess of pixels to get to the core of the big drawing, where you're kind of like constantly working at getting that drawing down. Okay. Like knock that in, get that there. Good. I'm starting to cook more, which I can't say about my brother because he is choking me, but he supposedly finished cooking, but it is what it is with that. And hopefully I won't be coughing too much. I'm glad that I set up my mic to that it won't blow out everything when I cough. I'm getting better at dealing with my audio crap. It's still a bit of a learning experience because there's a whole bunch of audio stuff, and I made some weird growing pains with it, but I should be better. All right. Good. S. Scarf. All right. We're gonna save for now, and I'm gonna take another break, and I will be right back after this, after these messages. I'll be right back. Hello, I've returned. Alright, so I was about to move on to something different, but I realized I actually hadn't even worked much on the head, so we're gonna work on the head, and I'm actually just gonna wrap the stream after that. Yeah, it's like 7:22, which is okay. I can make that work. Though, I don't think I really need to do too much with the head, because it's already looking half decent. I think the one thing that's Probably an issue with this is the neck, maybe. Oh, hey, Usagoshi, welcome. Nice to see you. Nice that you could catch one of my streams. Yeah, I see you probably taking a break from your Donkey Kong binge to come see me make pixel art and see that yes, I indeed can draw for real. I am not just a weird art machine. I can actually create stuff. Yes. Sometimes you can encounter some like AI people who are like, this kind of looks too much like AI, you know, you should prove that you actually drew it. And obviously my art style is much more analog looking than most other digital art stuff, so I don't really need to worry about that, but it is one of those things where I do pride myself in making sure I can actually walk the walk, so to speak. Yeah, and you're at work today, but let's calm down. All right, that's nice. Yeah, nice that, you know, your job's giving you a bit of a breathing room right now. Yeah, there are occasions where, I'm able to, you know, watch a Twitch stream while I'm, well, actually, no. My job does not let me do that because I'm a driver. I literally cannot. I can probably, like, listen in the background, but that is a ginormous no-no. So I do not do that. But at older jobs, I was able to sort of do that. But not, like, actually pay attention. Yeah, we'll just have the head here. Do it here. Because this is supposed to be kind of a belt. And then, you know, that is going pretty well with that. Oh yeah, how's Donkey Kong, by the way? Is it doing well with that? Because I remember you mentioned that you were playing Donkey Kong. It depends on the task that I'm doing for the day. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I think when I was, I used to work at Walmart overnights, and it is mad boring. Like, going to Walmart and dealing with all that garbage is always just like the actual worst. And it's really boring overnights, and you don't want to be there at all. And most people who show up at night, you know, they're in there, they're getting their stuff and they're leaving, so they barely will talk to you because they know what they need, as opposed to, you know, maybe like, yeah, because you have a lot of hospital workers who go to like Walmart overnights, so that's you know, that's one of those things. Oh, Donkey Kong's a masterpiece, hell yeah. Yeah, it's nice that you know, Donkey Kong's finally like getting a game for himself and stuff like that. I'm probably not gonna play it because I still have my Switch 1, and even though I'm sure it's gonna be fine, it's not exactly lighting me up to go get a whole new console. Because, you know, I'm also in a bit of a, you know, I'm kind of like keeping my purse strings tight right now, so that's why I'm not as chomping at the bit to get Yonkadong just yet. But still, the idea of the monkey being so strong that the world cannot handle him is fun as hell. I keep thinking that I want to do something like this, because I could do something where I draw the character, the actual character's eyes right here, and then, you know, it looks more looks like that. Yeah, Gurren Lagann with primate character. Yeah, basically. Yeah, just being able to just punch the ground so hard that you can just break through wherever the hell you want. And you sort of had that feeling in Mario Odyssey when you were playing as Bowser. And honestly, I feel like that Bowser sequence in Mario Odyssey sort of was the blueprint to Donkey Kong, because essentially you have, you know, the person you're rescuing, Pauline, just on your back, and you're just going ham on random bullshit, and it rules. And of course, you have a cool song to kind of like go with it, so yeah, it's all pretty rad with that. So yeah, I'm glad Donkey Kong is a fantastic game. It's just, you know, I'm probably not gonna buy it crazy soon. Maybe when, maybe further down the line. Yeah, Smash stuff in that game is very cathartic. Yeah, it looks cathartic. Like, it looks like the smashing has that right amount of, I think, pause. Like, there's a hit stop to the smashing where, you know, everything's has that slight, like, pop when you're hitting things. So, yeah, it looks good to punch things I'm seeing from that game. Of course, punching enemies and stuff like that would probably just be a given. Okay. Well, the easy part's done. Now for the actual hard part, is getting this to look similar to the Blasphemous helmet. Because that part can be a bit tough of getting the blasphemous thorns and things like that. Yeah, I'd say you get a Switch 2 in a game before Christmas arrives. Yeah, that's true, because Christmas is probably going to be literally impossible to find one. Because it'll probably be hella cheap right now. I think I'll probably like be able to get it around like fallish or something like that. It's just I'm not chomping at the bit to get new games because it's like I still have my Switch 1 games. I haven't played them at all. Yes, it is. It's a Dragon Knight. This is a current commission, or a you know, a commissioner, and he's making a Dragon Knight. So far, so good with this. Just needs to... the head needs to be over the torso in tiny ways. Do I need to... Yes, it's entirely possible. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to break my personal limit of going beyond the 122. Oops, that's not it. Plus 16. So I want you just slightly higher. Just slightly higher. It's like literally 2 pixels. But it's gonna, it'll give me a bit more room to kind of just breathe. In fact, sprite canvas size plus 32. Oops, I wanted like plus 16 canvas size. Because that way, I'll have some room for the spear here. Instead of a knight slaying the dragon wants to become a knight. Oh yeah. Plus having a lot of sky support also just has a nice advantage, being a sky knight. Being able to just fly around and just hit shit. Yeah, essentially it's a anthropomorphized version of this. So yeah, just doing a thing like this, but of course doing anthropomorphic because they actually never specified whether I'll stick with the anthropomorphic, but I made 2 sketches already, and they actually liked the two anthropomorphic sketches, so you know, I made them work. So yeah, yeah, it's turning out pretty well. And then in terms of what it's actually supposed to move like, it's gonna be similar in scope to how this is gonna look. And I might do some more stuff with you know, have the wings flap a tiny bit, have the tail move some more, stuff like that. You know, it's still a obviously this is all a work in progress. That's what you come to these streams for, to see the magic appear, the magic being made. So okay, head, neck. So far, so good. All right. Very nice. But yes, I think I'll be able to get this done sometime this week, because I have time off of work for this week and a tiny bit of next week. But it's like very in flux, so I'm not gonna really confirm that. But I have a bit of free time, so I can basically just lock in on commissions right now. So if you're interested in commissions, I might as well just advert the commissions. I am currently taking commissions right now. If you're interested in a commission that I'm working on right now, you can get an anime commission for 400 or a still commission for 150. And I also do animated avatars, half body stuff, which might go to PNG tubers. So I'll stay tuned for that. But yeah, you can DM me, you know, message me on my website, stuff like that. And yeah. Anyone who wants to commission me can hop on my website, and it is not showing my website. Are these commands even working? These commands are not working. Well then. Are these commands even working? Dagnabbit, these commands are not working. Well. But yes, you know, my channel has, or the Twitch channel has the general, links to where you can see my commission stuff and all the other commissions. So, you know, stop by with that stuff. I'm pretty quick, I'd say. A lot of people told me that I'm pretty quick with my commissions, so I take pride in doing my stuff pretty well. And I could probably just get rid of this layer. Get rid of you, knock that out. Get that down. That'll be good there. I could probably modify this a bit. Yeah, mouth could be worked on a bit more. Okay. Okay. Looking good, looking good. We're making actual legit progress. Or maybe I'm making progress. I always keep saying we when I really mean me, because I'm the one actually drawing the thing. You're just all watching. I guess it's just I'm so used to thinking about everything as I guess a multi-person effort, where I don't want to take all the credit for all the I guess my efforts, where I'm constantly downplaying the hard work I gotta do. But I tried my best to kind of like talk about just overall the team efforts of most of these things that I tackle. So honestly, it's better than like never telling anyone that anyone else helped me. So I mean, I suppose it's a good quality, though sometimes it can come off as me kind of feeling like I can't own up to my own I guess I can't own up to myself. Maybe I'm just over explaining. I could probably actually make this more of a white. Make this shine here. Put that there, that'll look good. Then use the lighter gray to make this line look thinner. Because a nice pixel art technique to make lines look thinner is to make them a lighter color. And that way, it'll look like it's blending into the previous lighter color. That's one little pixel art technique that I've kind of just been grasping these days. Kind of just doing tiny little bits of things like this. All right. Next we have man, I should play Chrono Trigger. I want to play Chrono Trigger again. Every time I listen to music Chrono Trigger, I'm like, man, I want to play Chrono Trigger. I miss playing Chrono Trigger. Maybe I should just do that for my new stream. Play Chrono Trigger and just get through that. Because I rarely play games on stream. And of course, I am putting most of my stuff on Twitch, which is a game, streaming platform, really. I'm sure Chrono Trigger is one of those things where, people are like, yeah, that's the basic bitch stuff. I was like, no, Chrono Trigger rules. Chrono Trigger's a top tier RPG. Now it's time to add the blasphemous horns. Everyone loves the blasphemous horns. I'm blaspheming all over the place. I'm blaspheming it. Yeah. Also, I love the Shin Megami Tensei series. I haven't been playing at all either. Like, I've kind of fallen off of 5 because I just don't have the time to play a lot of RPGs. Blasphemer. I'm blaspheming it. I'm blaspheming all over them. It's kind of funny because despite the fact that I like seeing that pixel art, I have never actually played Blasphemous at all. I don't even know if I own Blasphemous. I probably do. Like, I could probably give my Steam wish list a look and see. Probably, yeah, I probably do own Blasphemous. It's just, you know, I just haven't gotten around to actually playing it because I think it's a Metroidvania. It's just, you know, obviously you gotta get yourself to actually play the game. There's a lot of indie games that I see that I never play because, you know, they have really good looking pixel art style. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna play that, and then you get it, and then you never play it because, you know, you just don't have time to play video games. But I should have time to play video games. It's not like it's impossible. Yeah, it's like Dark Souls with more Eldritch Roman Catholic aesthetics to it. I have there are games where they're basically Dark Souls in design, but they're 2D platformers. Like I remember playing a game called I think it's called Salt and Sanctuary, which was very Bloodborne-like. And my friend showed it to me, but I kind of like fell off of playing it. But, you know, it was pretty nice. It's just, you know, it's obviously Bloodborne is a difficult game, of course. But it's kind of just one of those things where, you know, it's one of those earlier, like Souls-like games that are like starting to be influenced by, you know, that Dark Souls manner of gameplay. So, yeah, it's a bit rough and sometimes it's harder than it needs to be. But then again, I've been playing Ninja Gaiden lately, and Ninja Gaiden's pretty fucking cheap at times. Like, it's full on, and it's probably my emulator too, but it will flat out miss some of my inputs, and that drives me batty. So, it's entirely possible that you know, I'm not allergic to difficult games. In fact, I think I own Dark Souls 1, so I don't know why I don't ever play it. Probably could get through it though. That's also another game that I could probably just play on stream, is Dark Souls 1. Just play through that game. Because I own it on PC, it's just I'd never play it ever. But yeah, there's a lot of games I just never work on, despite the fact that I bought a graphics card specifically so I could play games on stream. And I was kind of doing it when I was playing Styx earlier this year. And I kind of just fell off of playing that game because I just had other games, or even just other things to do. So still need to play Styx some more because I basically just stopped playing that game. I've also kind of like fallen off of watching Ultra Q and Kamen Rider. And it's mostly just I cannot make the time to watch, I suppose. But honestly, you know what? I think after this I'll watch another episode of Kamen Rider because they're pretty short. Like overall, most of the Kamen Rider stuff is short, so I could work with that. S. Okay. You know, let's refine some of these. Refine the what's it called? Refine the legs. Get it to be looking pretty good. Okay, get you looking good here. Let me put like a dot of shine. Not too much, just enough to, you know, no, let's put a dot of shine at like the high point of the this thingamabobber of the armor. There we are. That looks sick. You look sick, bro. And probably like give it another thing like that, and that'll look good. Oh, another game that I've been really interested in playing is Don't Look Outside, or Don't Look Out, or whatever it is. It's that, so it's this game that was developed by the remnants of the Barkley Shut Up and Jam guiding team. Because they were trying to make a sequel to the original Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam guided. But there was some money snafu, and a lot of them were left high and dry, which sucks. You know, it's so it is one of those things. But yeah, they managed to make Don't Look Outside, or Don't Look Out, or whatever it is. And I wanted to, you know, I'm curious because I do like that guy's pixel art, so I want to try it out and give it a look-see. I don't own it, but you know, I've seen other streamer friends play it, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I want to at least, you know, I want to try it out just to see how it is. There's so many games I just never make the time for, and it's mostly just my fault for not making the time for them. And that's kind of just the truth of the matter. Let's see. The leg. Alright, back leg. Oh yeah, same. You know, it's one of those things where you want to experience literally every piece of media, but of course, you only have so much time, so much attention, so you can't really give your time and attention to every piece of art and media, because basically you are working to see all this stuff. Yeah, plus ADHD getting in the way. Yeah, that too. You know, it's difficult to really just keep your attention with a lot of these things, because yeah, a lot of games will either be very slowly paced, or they'll have a specific game flow. Like, I doubt Styx will be that interesting, like Styx Master of Shadows, 'cause it's a stealth game, which means a lot of hurrying up and waiting with a lot of its gameplay. So it can be easy to kind of like not you know, lose patience and make really bad moves because, you know, you're kind of tired of waiting. Yeah, stealth games require a whole alternate, I guess, subset of skills, which is ironic because I'm developing a stealth game, or at least developing options for stealth. But I do want to at least make sure that it's active enough where it's not completely just constant waiting. You know, I constantly think of ways of how you can interact with the characters to keep you, you know, enjoying working with the stealth mechanics in the context of a 2D platformer. Excuse me. Still choking on smoke. My brother was cooking earlier, and it has been, I guess I've just been unwittingly just choking to death. I can appreciate a good stealth game if the controls are solid. Yeah, Styx is Styx has solid like platformer controls. It plays like a competent, I'd say, PlayStation 2 platformer, that like era of like it's probably not as tight as Mario 64, but it's probably a solid jack, or a like a Ratchet and Clank type platform where it's like the controls aren't crazy buttery smooth like Mario 64, but you know, you're seeing people work with it. You know, you're not gonna fall off when you don't need to. You know, the wall jumping can be a bit sticky, and the hanging on ledges is very committal. So, you know, it's one of those things where that's kind of how the controls feel to me. All right. I think I'd probably work with yeah, his actual colors aren't this, but kind of just marking down where I can place down workable colors. Far legs, far legs, far legs, or close legs. Then we go back here. I also realize that I haven't even nudged this away as a workable thing. Okay, so far so good. Nice, nice. Go back to the far leg. Where the hell's the far leg? Oh, it's back leg. Yeah, I probably don't even need to do this outline system. I probably could just work off of a non-outline thing. Phantasy Star is also another series of RPGs where I see a lot of it, but I don't really dive too much into it because, you know, it's just one of those Sega RPGs where it's there, but I don't really dive into it that much. I keep calling myself like, oh, I'm a fan of RPGs, but it's like most of my RPG stuff is Final Fantasy. A lot of Square Enix RPGs, honestly. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, I suppose. Oh, you need to complete your Mario 3 Perler Bead set. That's rad. That was Perler Beads, actually. Like, you know, is it easy to learn with that stuff? I've been curious about Perler Beads. Learning how to basically do physical pixel art. I could work those wings away, maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Keep thinking I should make this larger, but I'll just let that rock. Let's see, neck. Color this. Yeah, then maybe like give it a deeper color. Maybe like color it like this. Color it like that. That'll look good. Okay. You go to head. Color this part of the head. Color that here. Still working on mastering the ironing part. If you have a pattern set, it's not too difficult laying them out as long as you have a delicate hand. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, learning how to maintain that. I figured it's similar to trying to try to work with a Gundam model, where you're essentially learning how to cut the little I think the little spokes of the Gundam and cutting like the little pieces to make sure everything is in its proper, right, well, not proper place, but kind of making sure that you're not cutting parts that you need to glue together and things like that. I know some Gundam sets don't require glue, but that's kind of what I'm kind of like assuming with a lot of Gundam modeling kits and stuff like that. Neck. Okay. Do a wee bit of okay. It's like assembling a Gundam kit to an extent. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so far, so good with that. Let's see. Any other little polishing things? I could probably adjust the arm a bit more. Work with that. Work out the arm a bit more. Shoopity doop. Okay. Close arms. There we are. Perler beads. But yeah, I like seeing the perler beads at conventions and things like that. Yeah, I always feel like I guess awkward about touching them because they're probably real fragile, and if you kind of hold them wrong, they can probably pop apart. So I want to completely ruin them if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna add like a little bit of a oh damn it. Of course I put my stuff on the arms part. Nice. I can't keep track of my layers, can I? That's the nature of layers. You gotta constantly be putting stuff in the specific layers, because Lord forbid you draw on the wrong layer. Of course I could probably just avoid that, but not just worrying about what's on the layer. But I am a crazy person, so I have to pay attention to what's on the layer. Yeah, they're melted together, so no worries about the art piece falling apart. Alright, that makes sense. Yeah, making sure that it's all hunky-dory, so that's good. But still, it's nice. It's a nice just feat of crafting. So yeah, parlor beads. There's a bazillion things that I want to learn how to do, and of course, you never have enough time to do them because life, and you are a mortal person, and you have to pick and choose how you're gonna live your life, and you can't constantly jump into every tiny little thing that catches your interest. I suppose that's the nature of being a person who wants to do literally everything in the world, but you don't have the time, attention, or the funds to be able to do that. Most of it is probably like in the funds aspect. Like, having infinite money will at least grant you infinite time. So while Mark Zuckerberg could learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and have expert fucking trainers, meanwhile you have to be figure out how to do it on your own, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is with that. You kind of have to go your way through this stuff. Even then, like, it's not a guarantee that you can actually Goku your way to being better skilled and better trained. Like actually having nutritionists on your team and you know, actual like trainers who know what they're doing. That is a nice fantasy though, you know, being able to outdo advanced rich people's science in order to, you know, make yourself better through sheer determination. But I'm not going to be fatalistic about it. I mean, obviously, he doesn't give a shit about the art of martial arts. But it is what it is with that. I don't know where I was going with that, actually. Oh yeah, I think what I was talking about was mostly just doing a bazillion things that you want to do and never having the time to actually do them because there's just so many interests that you want to take in. Yeah, I was just talking with a friend about him learning 3D modeling and stuff like that, and yeah, he got a program called Blender for Artists, and perhaps it'll make learning Blender a little bit easier, but I don't know. I'd have to trust it down. You'd still like to see Zuckerberg and Musk fight? Yeah, I would like to see that too. Mostly just see the ego blows, really. Like, I would love to just see that hilarious just... I think it's a bum fight to me personally. Like, it's all just dumb bum fights. Honestly, there should be real life celebrity death match. Like, yes, the celebrities should be able to just kill each other. I mean, obviously, they probably can't, but it would be fucking entertaining if there was real life celebrity death match. Yeah, celebrity death match was a era of MTV that I don't know how much I miss, but it does fill me with a bit of a I guess it's an era that's like MTV felt like anything could happen in a way. I don't know how I can explain it, but that era where they're just trying random shit. Adult Swim, like a lot of early Adult Swim was kind of like that too, where it felt like it was pioneering a whole new ground. I guess it's mostly just my nostalgia speaking, but you know, it's kind of just one of those things where you just had fairly unique ideas for the dumbest possible shows. Bringing back duels where it'd be fencing with pistols. Okay, that'd be fun. Like, someone who pisses you off online, you just challenge them to a duel, and they're gonna have to basically die for their ideals. That's how aristocrats took each other out. I wonder how true that was, actually. It probably is true, but it's like one of those things where it probably feels like it's more of a romanticism than how it actually was. Like how, you know, like samurais are like talked about as opposed to how they actually were with historical records and things like that. I mean, obviously it would be rad if aristocrats really did do stuff like that. I remember I was listening to a episode of Behind the Bastards about the people of Versailles and things like that, and yeah, they were basically pieces of shit. Like what's it, Louis the I think 14th, like he was running Versailles, and it was just basically a hell world of like everything I hear, everything I'd like. What I took out of that podcast was like, it seemed like Versailles was its own internal, probably country or something like that. Like it was its own, it was an isolated country kind of. I don't even know how I can really explain it other than it was its own country. Like, it was separate from France. It was just, it's completely alternate to just any semblance of reality. So obviously, you know, no wonder the French guillotined most of their kings. Yeah, like a city-state. Yeah, like a city-state, but I feel like it would be a much more isolated. Like, Greek city-states, even then, they would go to war against other city-states. You know, Athens and Sparta are like the more infamous ones. But it's like, a lot of Versailles just felt like, you know what I'm thinking? Like a, not like a cult, but that it sort of is like a cult of personality with the king. You had to do these arbitrary rules to please the king, and it was just such crap. Yeah, kind of like Vatican City or Hong Kong formerly. Ah, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Like, you know, the Vatican City is sort of just like that, with that, you know, it's kind of just that, this isolated, just land separate from, I suppose, normal regular societies. All right. So far, so good. And now let's see if we can't get the staff to duplicate. Now let's see. Maybe I could do like a fast little make it do a rotate thing, maybe. Script. Where's a rotate script? No rotate script. Oh, guess I'm doing it by hand. Let's fucking go. Stair stepping, baby. Staff turn. Staff turn. Okay. Only thing that sucks about this is now I gotta readjust the pixel art so it's actual proper. It is going to be a nightmare when you're actually animating this and you want to make the staff also move. I had I found a thing on an itch which let me rotate itself, but it's not 100% perfect because you know, it still doesn't rework the pixels correctly. But still, it's one of those things where it can do some stuff that kind of makes some of the work less tedious to tackle. All right. So far, so good. I think when I finish this staff that's when I'll wrap the stream. It's already 3:12. I told myself that I was going to wrap the stream when I finished the head, and lo and behold, I finished what's basically the start of a head, and now I'm working on a whole different thing. So I just keep lying to myself because I'm such a freaking workaholic, I guess. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have. I'm making progress on a commission that I got, paid to do. So it's not like it's not like I'm procrastinating completely on this. So here it is, what it is with that. All right. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is make this longer. Put that shit so long that no one can say no to you. All right. Maybe like one more step up. That looks good. That's looking good. Yes, nothing wrong with staying ahead of schedule, and that makes for a happy customer. You're damn right. When you do good work, you attract more people that tell others that you do good work, and then you get more good work. That's the nature of working. When you do good at your job, you end up getting more work. At a retail job, that royally sucks, but a regular job where you're actually getting meaning from it, that's the coolest thing that can happen to you. Come on. Okay. I'm going over the wings too much. I just need to go over the left wing. Alright. Let me just clear you out just a wee bit. Alright. So far, so good. And then we're going to put these in a giant group. Get you in a ginormous group here. Call you Senior. So that's the name of the OC. Or at least their OC. And I can just move and shake where I need to. And of course, I can add a little shadow down here. Never hurts to shadow this shit up. Doing a very rudimentary bottom shadow here. I also realized I didn't put in the tail. And I'm like, oh crap, I need to get that tail in. So I guess I'll just get the tail in next stream. Yeah, so far so good. At least I've made a decent amount of progress. Control S. And yeah, so far so good. And then I'm going to animate this scarf, because the scarf's gonna actually be animated with a physics software that I have. So I'm gonna work with that. And of course, this is a rough idea of how it's gonna look. Just need to tighten up the pencils a bit more, but yeah, things are going to look fine. But yes, I think I'll just wrap the stream up for now, because I am feeling like standing up. I need to make some dinner myself. And yeah, I will be streaming sometime soon this week. I do want to add more like work time with that. Let's see who's rateable right now. Who is currently playing anything? Yes, thank you very much. Shoop-doo-doo-doo. Alrighty. Rhythm Bastard is playing right now, so we're going to raid him for today. Anyway, this has been a fine, fantastic stream. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Have a good night.